Hi, welcome back everyone. In the first part of this series, we were at Alice's Nutter statue, using dowsing as a way to focus our intentions on her story. Now we're taking that focus to the next level. As you were aware in the video, I did ask Alice if she would like to me to do a tarot reading on her, and she was happily to oblige. So we're going to explore her story through the tarot using a special custom spread called the Heart and Soul Unveiled Truths. I haven't really played with this so much, so I don't know how it's going to go. But let's allow her story to unfold. We're here to understand her true feelings and the truths that were lost in history. Let's pull some cards, see what insights we gained from her life. My name is Carrie Ann. Welcome to Divine Insights. And yeah, we're going to use the Star Tarot. I done a dowsing thing, like to pick some decks, and this was the deck that was chosen, so which I was kind of drawn to anyway. Okay, so her heart and her reality. So, leading up to, what was happening at the time. So we're going to go into the section of it, like, where her heart and her reality was before she got accused. So let's have a look what the cards have got to say. Okay. Five of Swords. There was disruption going on. There was deception going on. So things was already, to me, things was already occurring in her, around her heart and her reality. So there was some form of betrayal already happening and already taking shape. We got the Five of Swords as someone wanting to win. There was some competitiveness or challenges with other people, and someone wasn't letting things go. This is where the deceptional card comes in with the Seven of Swords. So someone was being sneaky and sly, So I wouldn't say this is Alice. I would say that this was a situation that was around her before this all started to occur. We've got the Strength card. At this time, Alice felt like she had to be strong in this situation. So she tried to face it with courage. But I feel like Alice already knew or was aware what their intentions were. So I'm just feeling that it was already being shown before the accusations have come to light. So it wouldn't surprise me if this was premeditated, and the aim was, they chose, whoever was, they chose who they were gonna like have the accusations with, and Alice was part of that accusations. Okay. So tell me more about the Five of Swords. Tell me more about the Five of Swords. I think this stems from jealousy. This stems from jealousy. I feel Alice's nature was very ambitious, very similar to Lucinda's. The Three of Wands has come in to say that, she just had a great essence around her. So we're touching already what her true spirit of essence was about her. That she glowed, and I feel people felt quite infuriated having her. Although I think Alice seemed to just she was I wouldn't say she was oblivious to it. I think she was completely aware of it, aware of what these what was going on behind the scenes. and the slyness and the sneakiness. But she said she had such a positive nature about her. We got the bear here. So I think Alice was quite open as well. And this kind of stemmed from this. So I'm getting the feeling that there was another female involved. Now I know, we know the stories and that, but it was a young child that done the accusations. But I feel like it'd be interesting to know that I felt like that was encouraged as well. Okay, so what was Alice's truest essence, and how did she see herself before the world unfairly judged her? It's kind of come up there. So what was Alice's true essence? I think she was well liked, to be honest. She was well liked. She was a hard worker. Yeah, look, see, you've got the balance card. She was kind of very caring. Could be destructive at times, right? So I'm getting that she could be clumsy, drop things. So she could be quite in a rush to get things done. But she was very committed. We got the Lover's card, so she liked to please people. She liked to give that that pleasing tone there. So when she did do something, although she might have a feisty attitude at times, it wasn't intentionally. It was more she did not always think what she was doing before she do it. So yeah. So she had a bit of a mischievous way about her. Okay. What was her driving force? We're going to look into outside influence and inner challenges in a minute, although it has come up. What was her driving force? 6 of Wands. See, she was quite a positive character. She was quite a go-getter. Bit of a romances. And she loved being around people. I do see a shyness about her. But once she sort of got to know you and she felt secure with you, I know she was in mute. I know she had trouble struggling with communication. I know, from the records and that, but I feel like she enjoyed being present in people, so she quite enjoyed interaction. She just loved the interaction side of it. How might have she perceived her daily, the world around her? How might have she perceived her daily chores, the world around her? Sometimes Alice felt a bit stuck and complacent at times. I think that would be down to the communication. There you go, Ace of Swords. So I feel that kind of put her in. I would say Alice is quite bright, and not everybody gave her the justice that she deserved on that aspect. But so I feel like she felt she couldn't communicate a lot of things, which lowered her confidence a little bit. So she did find that sometimes it took a toll on her daily life because of the lack of communication that she was able to do. She felt frustrated with her ability, but her mind was working perfectly fine. It was just she was unable to communicate that, and that kind of had a bit of a knock-on effect, I would say, with her, her reality. So when the accusations came, how did Alice really feel? When the accusations really came, so how did Alice really feel? She really felt under a lot of pressure, and it happened so fast. Things just changed really quickly. Her whole, the whole situation changed really fast. So it was like a whirlwind to her, which brought so she felt really stressed and she didn't know what to do. She didn't know who to go to and stuff. There was, I think there was a female influence around her that was like a caregiver towards her, whether that's her mum, but she just didn't know what to do. I don't even know how old Alice was. Should have found that out, really, shouldn't I? Because I'm getting like a young nature, so very, I'm getting a young, I wouldn't say teenager, but I'm getting a young-minded, very just has that innocence about her, So the outside influences, I'm interested, with the 5 of Swords and the 7 of Swords, what was the major external person or event factor that profoundly impacted her? So the major person or event. I don't know if I should do... What was the major external person and event? Person, let's go for person first, because we've already picked up here there was someone who was being, deceptional around her. We've got 2 cards coming in, the Sun, Strength and Empowerment, the Seed and the Spring. Someone who had a strong character, who had some power over Alice, I feel. They were developing. So they had people looked up to them. Very communal, into the the community aspect. But they had certain insecurity wounds there. Tell me more about this person, this influence. Yeah, they betrayed her. It's almost like they were friends, or they were, maybe they were brought up together, or there was, that they were there was they had a connection. And I think Alice valued this person. Okay. But that person wanted to take Alice's energy away from her, take that innocence away from her. Not liking the vibe of, it could be a blonde woman. You got a block. Well, she's got grey hair, hasn't she? So, okay. So what was the intentions around this lady? What was the intention around this lady? She felt she could give justice, you know? So she believed her, yeah. She was looking to further up. This, although the accusations come from a child, I'm not sure with Alice, but all the accusations come from a child. I feel this woman wanted to get upstep the ladder. Whatever she just felt threatened by Alice. Although Alice was not a threat to her at all. This was just like an inner aspect. She wanted, you know, this person was dealing with their own crap, and they put it onto Alice. That's how I feel. Okay. How did this affect Alice when it came to light? How did this affect Alice when it came to light? I think at one stage Alice did try to stand up for herself and speak out, although she couldn't communicate it, but I think she tried to, but the risk was too high, and she knew it wasn't going to go anywhere. She knew that there was no healing in sight here, so she gave up in the end. She got the 8 of Cups here. So I think she did try to stand up for herself the best way she could. It's almost like she was trying to reach out with the people that she knew she could trust, but the risk was too high for her. So she started going in silence then, and I think she just started to accept what was happening to her in hope that things would change. Okay. I mean, for what she was facing, so, you know, internally, you know, while she was going through this, what thoughts was running through Alice's mind? Tell us your story, Alice, of how you were feeling. I felt trapped. I felt completely lost. I felt like there was no return. I couldn't get myself out of it. Things came to an end. Again, I give up the fight. I went inwardly. With fear. I tried to stay positive to a certain degree, but inside I was scared. I knew death was coming. Death card don't always necessarily mean death, but we've got 10 of Swords and the Death card there, so there's the transition into her passing there. It was taken away from me. They took my joy away from me. So what was the unseen truth about about her story? What was the untold truth about her story? Through the tarot. Sorry, cards have all messed up. So what was the untold truth about the story? I accepted my fate. I accept it. I made the acceptance of my fate. I come to realize there was nothing I can do but just lie in wait. I trusted in my faith. I trusted in my faith. So although I was scared at the beginning, there was nothing I could do to change that with the Four of Swords. So I stayed secure in knowing that my faith would carry me on into a new life, which would be her passing. Got the Fool card. So the end, you know, so that was the truth of her story. It's almost like she tried to make peace in what was happening to her. You know, like it's almost like her final moments here. Is there a... So that being said, is there anything else you'd like to state? Is there anything else that you would like to state? I think what she's trying to say is that she made peace with it. She was fully aware of what was going on. There was intervening going on. It wasn't just that little girl. There was an encouragement there, especially one person in particular. I felt with the reading, but remember, it's entertainment purposes only. You know, I don't know the full facts, and I'm hopeless with history. Even if I read it, I forget it. So it's just like, that's my dyslexic brain. Unfortunately, can't store information. Right, what was the message? The message you would like, you know, final message you would like to give. Sorry, I'm rabbiting now. I'm no longer trapped. I feel free. I feel free to express myself. I feel like I can be, you know, I don't feel trapped or delusional. So I feel like her spirit lives on. I do feel like she gives guidance to other people, especially people of our blood. Message of an encouragement. So what could we learn? What can we learn from this experience that Alice went through? And I am going to do another tarot for the other people that's got accusations as well, to see if it lines up. So I feel the last kind of messages, if we've got the Hermit card, which is interesting, which is the front of the cover here, is trust, and whatever it is that you're going through, or circumstances around it, even if it's bad circumstances like Alice, they're saying trust the process. The answers that you seek is within. You can find peace with this, with the 8 of Cups. You know, you can build up, build back up, you know. Let go of the confusion here and what is unseen. Give your moment and time to sit with it. That is where you can rebuild. I think this is like a spiritual thing. So although I don't, you know, it stated in the video that, you know, that she was innocent and she didn't do witchcraft or anything like that. But I feel her faith and what she believed in, and, you know, her spiritual belief in God, and, you know, she was a Catholic, wasn't she? So, you know, I don't know much about Catholics or anything like that. I don't really know that aspect. But what I am seeing is that her faith alone got her by. Even in the most devastation circumstances. So I think she's saying, keep your faith in yourself, keep your faith in all that's around you. That's what got me through this. And although I made peace with my passing, that's how I feel. How do you feel about the locals? I don't know if I asked that question in the thing, but I'm going to ask again. How do you feel about the locals doing a statue of you? I think she fully appreciated the work that they put in and how things has progressed in times. And it kind of like freed her spirit, I feel, here. So I think for whoever done this for her, you know, put those things up for her, has helped with the transition. I think she felt stuck for a good while, but it inspired her to connect again. So I feel like it completed the cycle for her. So she feels like there was some value in a bad situation, if that makes sense. I think I'm going to leave it with that, guys. If you're interested in part 2, by all means, look in the description box. I've got information you know, about the situation that you probably, yeah, if you want to dive in deeper. This is a tarot reading. It's not factual. It's allegedly entertainment purposes only. I've got to say all this, but that's what I'm picking up with the cards. What do you guys think? What did you get out of it? Do you know the history around it? I don't. I mean, well, I've read it, but again, you know, I'm so so fly with it all. Yeah. So what do you think on it? Yeah, did the reading resonate with you, or did you pick something else up in the cards? Could you take that? You know, so let me know your thoughts below. I think the next video I'll be coming up is the Witches Trials. So I'm going to be looking, so I've got a spread for that. And then me and my daughter will be talking about our experiences of going away, and that. Apologise advance, you're getting a load of videos all in one, but my energy is still not quite 100%, so I'm still trying to get myself back in shape. So I hope you enjoy the readings, and yeah, I will see you soon, guys. You take care and lots of love, and I'll see you on the other side.